It was nearly 30 years ago, but as well as memory serves, the weather was beautiful. It was late on a Saturday afternoon, and we were trying to get the inventory locked up so we could cut loose at the end of a long week. Suddenly, a gentleman who had to have been hiding in the bushes with his friend pops up out of nowhere. "What's the price of this car?" he demands. Now, for some reason, he struck me as more interested in amusing his companion with the tack that he was directing at me than in buying a vehicle. Who knows? Maybe I was just annoyed and getting the wrong vibe. Nonetheless, following my answer to his question, he continued with, "That's ridiculous. I know your parts manager. I'll buy it from him." As the two of them sauntered away, my antagonist was apparently satisfied with his mission to be the last one to conquer a salesperson that day. I'm quite certain the following sentiment must have remained unsaid by myself and left as only a thought. "No problem. He'll sell you the car in pieces. It'll probably cost over $1 million, and you get to go home and put it all together, sir." I was recently reminded of this occurrence when speaking with a general manager, Dan S. Hat tip, Dan. Dan had stepped into the office of one of his business managers as we were discussing some ideas for perspective we might share with our guests. We reviewed how helpful to the cause we might find it to take photos while walking through the shop. I mentioned a rolling chassis that I had seen earlier in the week at a different store. There it was, a late model, full-size pickup truck, shorn with not much more than its wheels and tires. Practically the entire vehicle had been disassembled. Holy smokes, I thought. I can't even imagine how many hours of labor that must entail. And at blank dollars per hour labor rate, that bill is going to be massive. Dan responded by explaining that these cars are hand-built following such a teardown. And that is after they are hand unbuilt, leading to this point. Although most vehicle repair jobs don't result in a mid-stage rolling chassis, much of the work our service departments routinely find themselves performing is incredibly complicated. Our guests are depending upon us to help them make well-informed decisions regarding how to avoid the exposure to the resultant expenses that these occurrences entail. If we aren't familiar with what is going on back there in our shop and haven't seen it with our own eyes, we will not be able to relay the necessary perspective as well. We won't be equipped to share the photos. If we aren't sure what a rolling chassis is, perhaps we aren't as well informed as we should be. If we aren't securing the knowledge waiting to be discovered in our shop, we won't be able to communicate the complexity of the resultant work. We will be less effective. We will be unable to explain why the labor rate is what it is, the training and the tools necessary to get the work done, the skill required to complete this routine work, how it is performed by the proper personnel and supported by the necessary backup personnel in the appropriate facility covered by the requisite insurance, incentivized by the necessary payroll. All crucial to ensuring the work gets done correctly. Let's get educated. Think about it. Good luck and good selling.